What's up, guys? It's your girls. We're back. I think we're at episode 16. Don't quote me on that, but I think we're on episode 16. I want to thank every single person on my TikTok who has almost doubled my followers from Friday.
Word. Goals.
Thanks for all the love. I'm at like 33,000. I was at 20 on Friday. Thanks for all the love and the support in showing when I was breaking down. I was having a breakdown.
She was going through a crisis
at work over a computer system. You guys did show me nothing but love. And the comments are hysterical. I probably would like to address the comments on one of these episodes. There's a lot of comments, but the main one that I get accused of having a BBL.
Could I respond to that?
Go ahead.
An episode that we called Does Connie Have BBL?
You know, like, people, listen to me. If you don't know about BBLs, right? They can't inflate your legs. My legs are big. So therefore, it matches my whole bottom half. I don't have a BBL. I get accused of it all the time.
Yeah.
Inform yourselves before you're accusing me.
No, you know what it
of
is?
it.
You know, because you're curvy, and because of your ethnicity, it's like mind blowing. Listen,
My
it's a family
ethnicity.
show. We family.
She said I'm white.
No, but I'm just saying.
AKA, I'm white.
Listen, she said it like that, but anyway, I was trying to be professional. But I'm saying all of that to say, because of the fact that you're white and you're curved and you're literally shaped like an African American or Hispanic woman, they automatically think, because, you know, it's such a heightened thing with BBLs. So seeing a white girl, Italian girl, with all of this body shaped like a black woman, and you don't look mixed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, because at first, listen, when I first met you, I said, she got a big ass to be white. Like,
wow.
I
It'd
did.
be your own friend.
No, listen, this is a family show.
It'd be your own friend.
But I did, because it was like, oh my goodness, like, people literally, I'm not going to say that, but people go and purchase that. And literally lose their lives. You know what I'm saying? For natural. Like, listen, like I was saying before the camera started rolling, God know what to give you. And I'm going to just leave that right there. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to put a pin on it.
So, yeah, thank you for the followers. And I'm definitely seeing it roll on to, like, the subscribers on YouTube, and I'm blessed with that also.
Praise God.
So, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. You guys got to get me up to, like, we got to get up to 100K, but I'm going to take 40 for this week.
Yeah, let's just, let's start.
We gotta
50,
start
then
slow,
75.
but definitely
then
thank you
100.
for the love. And I got a lot of great people. When I go on live, I get a lot of great people. You know, I get some weirdos,
but sometimes it's good conversation.
But
too.
The thing is, I have a group that follows my lives, and they always defend me when people come on there trying to talk crazy. They're like, yo, respect her and this and that. So that's my people.
So, like, you know how Nicki Minaj have the Barbs and Beyonce has the Beehive? You got to get you a name for your own followers.
You know what? Think of a name, guys. Put it in the comments.
That's a good idea, friend.
And we will have my followers called a certain thing.
I think, listen, if Beyonce could do it and Nicki Minaj, why can't she?
Right? Why can't I?
Period. And I'm the manager. I wanted to tell y'all too.
20%.
I'm the friendager. You know, there's momager.
I'm momager of my kids.
Right. There's momager, but I'm friendager. And, 20% off the top. No,
and shout
no
out to all the people who have commented on my reel with my son. They ask me questions about my son, and they give him a lot of love. And that's much appreciated, because if you know me, you know that's my baby.
Yes. Look, absolutely. But how y'all doing today on this Tuesday? It's 80-something degrees. I got my sundress out. I had my little fashion overfit.
She got her sundress on. I got my hair washed.
We got our feet done today.
We got our feet done. And I'm about to go out to eat after this pod.
I can't
to
wait
listen to some good music.
R&B's, friend.
Eat some good food.
Yes. I already know what I want.
Definitely enjoy this beautiful weather.
And you know what? I feel like we deserve to enjoy ourselves.
We do.
And, we all know she's a workaholic.
I am.
And I'm always in the house or confined.
She's a homoholic.
I'm a momaholic. So it's like, you know what? This is the time. Like, the weather is breaking. The season is changing. So why we can't change with the season?
You know what? You're right.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, we could sit there. We have personal conversations in reference to it, but we could always sit there and talk about, like you said, things that we don't want. Let's talk about what we do want and what we're going to do. Yeah. How about that? Like, sometimes we have to change and flip the script. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, what I'm realizing, especially in this season, just like we can basically become adapted with a person's routine. Mm-hmm. People could be adapting to our routines,
of course,
and following what we do, and basically like
knowing your next move.
Right.
And that's where the issue comes.
Amen.
I'm really a routine person.
Me too.
Take me out of my routine and it's uncomfortable, which hence the whole computer system last week. That wasn't my routine. Putting orders in, doing certain things. I had a routine. Mm-hmm. I knew what it was. I could do that shit with my eyes closed. So this threw me off my routine.
Well, maybe that's the Lord showing you, like, friend, it's time for change, and change is about to come. So get uncomfortable.
Really, 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 I was dreading going to work, dealing with the machine. So that's how routine and how habit like I am.
Yeah.
But I went in on Friday and I said, all right, I can't fight this thing. So this is going to take me down or I'm going to take it down.
I can't stand her like it's a person.
Yeah.
And she was, let me
I
tell
was that serious.
She was so serious about this.
I came
like,
in,
you still stressed?
I said, all right, either this is going to kill me or I'm going to kill it. So I'm going to have to kill it because ain't nothing up until this point kill me. So I'm going to have to kill it.
Remind you, we talking about an electronic device. But go ahead, y'all.
So I fought it a little, and it got better by the end of the night.
It was a draw?
I think it won that night.
It was a draw.
Saturday, I said, okay, it got better. It's getting better. So Saturday, I went in, and then once it got busy, and then this thing was like taking time.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God. I was telling every customer, please, I'm sorry. Please have patience with me. We just got a new system.
I would have hung up on her.
And I said, and it's about to go in the dumpster. And they're like, go ahead, throw it, girl. I said, it's about to go in a dumpster because this thing is trying to play with me, playing with my time.
They were trying to bring it down.
So my customers I have to say, I have a really good customer base. So they laugh with me. They know I'm crazy. They know this is what you get. What you see is what you get.
Right.
I'm really authentic with anyone who meets me. So I don't really play. I don't have a facade. I don't play a facade. I don't put up a front. So I was real genuine. But in the case of routine, that is what happens. People become really accustomed to you not changing yourself or not changing yourself up. And it develops a certain comfort level in people.
Absolutely.
And as it develops a comfort level in ourselves.
Absolutely.
And if we don't shake up our own comfort level,
how do we expect others
how do you expect others to respect it? You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, if you're not respecting yourself and what changes you need to apply, no one's going to respect
Absolutely, because I feel like you are the blueprint. You are the CEO, and you have the blueprint of your life. So it's like you can't expect people to know or to do what you want them to do when you're basically all over the place with yourself. Right. So how are they going to take you seriously? Right. And let me tell you something. Only me and God know what me and God talk about, right? And I'm like, Jesus, you really like tested me this week.
You know what?
And let me tell you something.
My girl was tested yesterday.
Last night, let me tell you something. Last night, I'm with my family, I'm having dinner, and I'm downstairs, with Nona looking at memories. I saw Connie when she was 3, y'all. I saw Connie when she was 16. I saw Connie when she was 8. Like, we were just looking at it. She had this beautiful album that her grandson bought her of memories. And it was just like so beautiful to see or whatever. And I'm just chilling downstairs with her until she came from upstairs.
We had a whole episode with my dog. For those of you who know, I have a dog. I have an American bully.
And he's big as
as hell. But he gets these anxiety attacks
from anxiety
every once in a while. So I come home from work, I walk in, and I literally wanted to turn around and walk out. So I walk in, and the dog, he's in the crate. And if you know me, you know my dog's gone through about 8 crates at this point. And this one was supposed to be indestructible.
I think you should have kept your receipt.
The dog looks like he was mauled by another dog. He has blood coming down his face, blood all over his paws. He's like hyperventilating, panting, going back and forth in the crate.
Jesus.
Blood all over the floor. Looked like a murder scene.
I said, why you ain't take a picture?
And I said, what the hell did you do? So long story short, he broke the bottom part of the crate.
Yeah.
Then the metal strips.
The bars, yeah.
The bars that are in the bottom, he bent them all up. I'm assuming in bending them up, he scratched his face. But it looked so much worse. I had to call my son. He had to take him out in the back, wash him down because there was no, and I had to wash the whole house. So we were supposed to eat dinner at 7. This whole episode took me about an hour. So she was stalling my mom because if you know my mom.
And I was like, I'm hungry.
Dinner is real serious.
Yeah,
and it's at the time that she says.
Period. And you know what? Who gonna check her? Who gonna check her?
If not, she starts cursing everybody out. So we were dealing with that. She was downstairs looking at pictures and, you know.
Yeah, laughing, looking at pictures, talking to her, you know. And then it's like, I'm sitting down. We ready to break bread, even though I ate it before everybody. But, you know, whatever. You know, someone just, like, comes at me over the phone. And my thing is, let me tell y'all something. I think it is so distasteful.
Distasteful.
Oh, you like that? See, I'm getting professional,
Wow.
y'all, in this new
It's
season.
not that distasteful.
I think it is so distasteful when men try to argue with women. Like, first of all, you calling me on my phone and think you're going to talk to me any kind of way? And you think that just because I walk with the Lord, I can't take a step back for a second and release and unleash? But I was professional, wasn't I?
She was professional. She cursed them out, but professionally. Like, no
Right.
swear words being needed.
No, but I was very
But
assertive.
she was assertive.
I
She
was
put her
assertive.
point across. But she was tested yesterday. She had quite a few tests.
Let me tell
yesterday.
you something, and it is only Tuesday. Let's keep that in mind.
That was Monday. Yesterday was Monday.
Yeah, but it's only Tuesday,
yeah.
and it was just like, but you know what? At the end of the day, I say all of that to say, I'm learning once you set boundaries, you realize the difference in how people think they could approach you. And it's like people who don't like boundaries, you really see a side of them that comes out. But what I'm learning is not to allow that to get me off the path that I'm going. You know what I mean?
People don't like, okay, so when you're a creature of habit, you definitely don't like change. Like, I don't like change.
Who does?
I'm like real
But we are
transparent.
all creatures of habit in some areas
That
of our
I
life.
am not a big person with
I'm
change.
hungry, y'all, by the way. I am so hungry. But go ahead.
But like when you start changing yourself, people start spiraling because they don't, I guess they don't
They're
know what
accustomed
position
to who you are.
Yeah, like I guess they
They're-
don't know what position
Right.
now they're going to have in your life.
or even if they will have one.
Or if they will have one.
And that's the thing. And
Yeah.
what I'm realizing also, too, I was a person that was very passive because as a young girl, I was labeled as combative. So,
Well, I have always been too, and I still haven't backed down.
no, I was on another level than you. I was bad. Like, I was bad because I was hurting and my hurt turned into anger. So I was on another level. I was like unhinged. So being labeled, you know, argumentative and combative for a long time, I would avoid. Just like a boxer or someone who hit someone and killed them. They usually, after that, they prevent fighting in all aspects. And with me, because it was such a label and a book bag that I carried for so long, but don't get it twisted, I will still go off, mess with her, my kids, her kids, unhinged again.
Sometimes I have to think if I want to tell her something.
Right, she gonna tell me something early, and I told her I can't talk about it right now. Like, and it wasn't.
It was with her.
But the thing is, it's like, but she's the same way. Like things that I'd be
Yeah.
like, she be like, I'm gonna put a knife to their throat, and I'm like, well, all right. But you know what I mean?
We definitely
we feed off of each other,
like
in a sense. We're very protective of one another. So it's like, she'll tell me something. And the thing is, when she says things to me, you know, I'm used to being loud and people around me being loud. So when it's an issue,
about it.
when it's an issue, it's like, and she'll be like, so let me tell you. And it's just like,
I said, talk me off a ledge.
she'll tell me, and then she'll tell me something. Like, we literally was getting out the car to come here. And I said, I can't talk about this right now. And I was so serious. And she knew by my face, I don't have the capacity to talk about this right now because 1, rage. 2, I'm on overload. 3, I'm sitting here thinking about how much money I got in my account just in case.
Bail. Good thing we got bail reform in New Jersey.
Right. And thank God she know my PIN number and password. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? These are the things. Yes. But I say all of that to say what I'm learning in my life, and I was saying to her earlier, there's reoccurring things that's going on in my life.
Same.
And what I noticed that is reoccurring in my life is people will give me the bare minimum, but they will expect so much from me. And it's easy to sit there and be like, you know what? You know, that's wrong. They're not doing that. It's not reciprocal. But then again, I had to look at myself. What are they mirroring? What are they mirroring?
Yeah.
And it was like, where in my life, or what in my life did I allow for this? Because the only thing that's changing are the people, but it goes to the same root. And it's like the problem in the common denominator is you, sis. So it's either you're going to fuss about, oh, you know, this person is doing bare minimum, or they expecting this from me. No, you have to change the dynamic in order for the dynamic to change. You can't get mad at them because you created the environment for this to thrive in.
Well, they say like everybody's a mirror to us. So it's like
Lord,
when you look in the mirror, that image is only going to change if you change your own image. So if I'm looking in the mirror and I got fucking shit all over my face,
look at her mouth. I be trying to tell her not to curse too much, y'all.
It's not going to come off until I take it off. So that person's just mirroring back to you something. So you just kind of got to figure it out.
And what I learned today, because I had my therapy session via telehealth. Listen. Let me tell you something. We all got struggles. Therapy was the best thing that ever happened to me. And it was something that was so like a wow moment. And I was talking about a situation, and the person said, okay, we can see what is done in the situation and the scenarios, but where or what in you, what is it mirroring in you that allow these different things? And I said, oh my God, I had to sit back in my recliner for that one. Like, you know what, you're right. And it was people think automatically a mirror is the same personality or the same hit. No, sometimes it's your trauma, your behaviors, which allows other people to behave in a certain way and for it to be okay. So it's like you could sit there and point fingers, but what self-accountability are you going to have? Because I had to say, you know what? I allowed this. I created this environment. I never spoke up. I never stood up for myself. And so now that I'm speaking up for myself, it's scary at first to hear your own voice, especially when you were trained to be silent in certain situations. So it's like sometimes the sound of your own voice is scary. Let me tell you something, and I will definitely give an example, brother. But I had to remember, sis is a lion. Lions don't speak, we roar. But an example, like, what do you mean, brother? Like, let me know. A specific example. Like, as far as the mirroring is concerned?
Yeah, or like speaking up.
Okay. See, for a long time, I had trauma issues where I had, like I always talk about, I had low self-esteem. You know, I had self-worth issues because of trauma that went on in my life. So I was trained to be silent. I couldn't speak up. I couldn't say certain things. So that started rolling over into my personality, where I stopped speaking because I felt unheard. No one will believe me or whatever the case. So automatically when I would speak, I would automatically think that it was wrong because of the fact that it was something new. And now I realize, because I haven't been speaking up, Like they always say, what you allow will continue, whether it's good or bad. So I used to allow people to walk all over me. Did I know they walked all over me? Absolutely not, because I was looking for outside validation. I was looking to feel good, feel accepted. But sometimes people will know your weakness and use your weakness for their advantage. And once you get enlightened, the light comes on like, okay, sis, people may not change, situations may not change, but you're going to have to change in order for any change to occur.
Yep.
Look, y'all know what I'm saying?
And we don't, you know what it is? It's definitely so much easier to think the other person has to change. Like if that person changes, then I'll
y'all
be happy.
Forgive me, I'm about to sneeze.
God bless you. It's the pollen in Jersey today.
For
Looks
real,
like it's snow.
It's like snow, and it's very disrespectful.
The thing is, it's so much easier to be like, well, if that person just changed, I'll be fine.
Or let's say the other thing, which you know what grinds my gears? Oh, that's just how they are.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something.
that.
That's like you saying you want to fight me. Because you know what? We can all be just
like
how
we
we are.
Yeah.
But how is that working out for you?
Yeah.
How is that working out for you? Or when people dismiss how you feel, like, oh, that's just how they are. Okay, let me be how I want to be then.
Right. Right.
Absolutely not. That don't mean it's acceptable because that's how you are.
Mm-hmm. You know, like we all do have character traits of just how we are, but then there also is learned behaviors of just how we are.
So generational inheritance.
And then you kind of have to figure out what is your actual character traits and what are these learned behaviors that can be changed.
Yeah, because it could be
sometimes
very
at the end of the day, like your character traits are your character traits. They're who you are at your core.
At your core, and you can't change that.
Learned behavior is completely different. Like learned behavior.
But the thing is the key with learned behavior is you have to first acknowledge and realize it is a learned behavior. And that to me,
because I think we all want to give ourselves a free pass, but
also too, you know, and I could only speak for myself. There's a lot of learned behaviors that I'm realizing that I learned from my mom, and my mom learned from her mom.
Yeah, of
and
course,
it's
same.
like it may not be the worst thing.
No,
but
it's
same. Not the right way.
Yeah, the same.
You know what
even
I mean?
Things that I didn't like, I recall repeating the pattern.
Or you be the opposite, the total
or
opposite.
the total. I'm really of two extremes. There's things that I have repeated and that I didn't like that I had to really start checking myself. Like, yo, I don't even like this behavior, but though I'm doing it. And then there's behaviors that because I didn't want to be a certain way,
you went the total opposite.
the total opposite extreme.
Same.
So like we kind of have to
find balance
and keep evolving, and evolving is the key, because as we like a lot of people get older, but they just get older in age.
That doesn't mean they get wiser.
Older. Yeah, they don't get
and
wiser.
And that's the thing. And that's something that used to bother me as well, when they be like, oh, you only such and such years old, you haven't gone through anything. That is so untrue.
Yeah, I don't think age gives
that doesn't define that doesn't
Uh-uh.
define anything. And that's why I feel as well, you know, even with kids, sometimes people think, oh, they're just a kid, that their voice shouldn't be heard.
Yeah, no.
But those kids eventually grow up to be adults that feel they're not heard. And, you know, just like I was speaking to somebody, they were saying like, oh, they have to raise their voice because they feel that's the only way that they're heard. That was a child. You know, that's from
get that.
A child feeling ignored.
Yeah, I definitely get that, because I too, like when I feel like I'm not being heard or I want to be heard, like I definitely raise my voice. And there's probably so many other ways to be heard, but my initial reaction is to raise my voice, to yell over you, and it's definitely not good.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
When do you feel like that started?
Definitely, I want to say like,
Can you remember?
yeah, my first boyfriend, I was like 15, almost 16. My dad passed away, and he was like he was my first boyfriend ever. And
Did you love him?
no, he was terrible to me.
You heard me? Did you love him?
He cheated on me, everything. But if I recall how we spoke, I felt like he just ignored me, and I could definitely remember yelling was my way to get my point across.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
Like when I'm mad, yelling is definitely my way to get my point across. And it's like, I know I'm not getting my point across, but it's like so hard to decipher get my point across in another way other than what I'm used to.
Let me ask you something. Since you were talking about first boyfriends,
he was terrible.
We're gonna switch it up real quick. You know what I mean? Do you feel like because of the relationship with your first boyfriend, did that basically map out how you are in relationships to this day?
I think a lot of it, yes. And going back to that, I lost my father in September of 1989. Okay, I was 15. I think I started dating this guy. Let's be realistic. I was 15.
No, that was a serious relationship back then.
Like he was
serious.
Was like a couple years older than me. I think he was 18. But I started dating him a few months after.
Okay.
So first and foremost, when my dad passed away, like there was no healing. Like there was no grieving. There was no healing.
There was no time.
There was just like, you're 15. You have no idea what the hell this thing that just happened to your whole family is.
Right.
You're dealing with that. I dealt with my mom falling into a huge depression.
Absolutely.
I kind of had to pick, my brother kind of spiraled in a whole nother direction.
Yeah, he acted out differently.
So I was 15 trying to take care of
adults in
my own way where
you should have been taken care of.
Yeah. You know, and I don't fault anyone for it. It's just how the dynamics happen. And then it's like I met this person who kind of probably in some way filled this need that I had.
Yes.
But was probably the most dysfunctional.
Girl, I'm about to tell my story after yours because this is too familiar.
Like probably so dysfunctional, like made me feel like worthless, unwanted. I don't know.
All of the above.
All of the above. But I sat in it to just not be alone, if that even makes any sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
And like, as much as like we didn't last, but he was the one person I always kind of went back to when there was no one around.
Yeah, because for some reason that.
And then it's like I went back, definitely got. Yeah, like, and it wasn't even back in a relationship. I just went back, it entertained it for a little, and then moved on. And it's like that whole thing, I think, geared me up for my pride, like my after relationships.
I believe it.
Yeah. So did that definitely form and pave the way for probably
certain things in your relationship?
Yeah, for sure.
I agree because I was on Instagram earlier today and I was looking at something and it was like a reel and my first boyfriend came up.
Oh God.
Right.
Thank God I don't see this.
And I used to stay with him actually in Lodi. This is how I learned about Lodi or whatever the case, because early 2000s, he lived back then. And let me tell you something. This guy, he was a little bit older than me as well. And if you met him, you would have thought he was the perfect boyfriend. Like he was respectful. He was always had a funny personality. He was very giving. But baby, behind closed doors, it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And, it in his way, he loved me. And I wouldn't doubt that. Like anything that I wanted, I got, I was like his princess, his queen. But his trauma came into our relationship and how he treated women. And, eventually, we broke up and stuff like that or whatever. Married somebody immediately right after.
He couldn't be alone.
And seeing his picture today, it was just like, wow, it's like another lifetime.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
It's like another lifetime. And I am a true believer that I'm not saying he was like a horrible person, but I am a true believer that he also formed the way I am in relationships.
For sure. But I think every relationship.
Nah, this one put a dent in it, friend.
Impacts you for the next relationship.
This one put a dent
like
in
my marriage was, very impactful. And the relationship after that was completely different than my marriage because impactful. And it's like when I look back at that, and that's like 4 years already that we haven't been together. I look back at that, talking about a different lifetime. I don't even know who that person is.
Exactly.
That version of me, I don't even know who that is.
But you know what? When I saw the picture, it gave it brought so many emotions. Not emotions like, oh, I miss him. Mm-hmm. No. But it was like so many different things, good and bad. Mm-hmm. Because I could take all the bad and be like, oh, he did this, he did that. But I honestly, and this is growth, I thank him. Yeah. He exposed me to different things in life that I wouldn't have known if I wasn't in that relationship. Also, he had wonderful siblings that embraced me. His father was the best. So there were still good things, even though the relationship wasn't great. There were good things that I took because his siblings literally took me as their little sister. Like, it was love. But at the end of the day, and he said it years later, he was like, if I wasn't so controlling, things will be different. But I always say, our lives already mapped out. Yeah. That was only a chapter to teach me something in regards to that. And people think because of the fact that you could retain so much materialistically that, equates to happiness.
No.
Absolutely
I say
not.
that all the time.
Absolutely
I think
not.
A lot of people hide behind the material to make them happy.
To make them feel better. Yeah. It's like a comfort.
It
gives
like
them
some kind of validation.
Yeah, for themselves.
For themselves. And I'm not knocking anyone.
No, absolutely not, because I got a list of stuff I want you to get me for my birthday. But go ahead.
I don't validate things. I validate honesty.
Right.
I validate time.
Loyalty. You validate consistency.
Loyalty. I validate
safety.
Why
I'm answering for her.
You being a person of your word.
It's my companion.
Like, you being a person of your word, to me, means
That's
so
everything.
much more than you buying me something.
My love.
So I don't see things as what you can do for me. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to still get up tomorrow morning. I'm going to still go to work. Even if you bought me and you paid every one of my bills, I'm going to still wake up tomorrow. I'm going to still go to work, and I'm going to still do what I have to do because that's who I am.
Absolutely.
At the core.
That's your core.
Yeah, at the core, that is who I am. I've always been that person, and I will always continue to be that person.
And you know who I am, y'all? I'm hungry. That's who I am right now. I want some hot sauce, some buffalo sauce. I need me a ginger ale. I need me some buffalo shrimp. And what is that stuff that I get, that crab dip or something? Let me tell you, I'm hungry. I'm going to tear up somebody's table.
We are going to Bar Vanquish in Newark. If anyone who's been there. Delicious. They play great music, and it's just a cool little spot. It's right by the Prudential Center.
Yeah, and you know what?
Look, free advertising for you guys.
There you go. We saw Bobby Brown in there.
We saw Bobby Brown in there. We took a picture with him. But it is definitely a good spot.
Yeah, and I just feel like, when we're so used to our routine and different things like that, and I'm talking about myself now, because let me tell y'all, I got yelled at like 9 times this weekend because I barricaded myself in the house.
She stayed 72 hours straight in a home.
I didn't have it in me. That's a lie, because I came to see you for about 45 minutes. She came to see me for
45 minutes. Okay, so she stayed 72 hours and 15 minutes. 71 and 15 minutes.
And that's the thing that I have to work on. When I am mentally depleted, I literally have no strength. Like, I just can't. It ain't in me. Get somebody else to do it.
I'm like, you cannot sit in the house and do nothing. Find some place to go. Do something. You cannot just sit in a house and watch TV.
When your friend is a workaholic, it's kind of rough.
I said, come here if you have to.
Like, I don't be there enough. But, in a nutshell, it's like, we have to enjoy life. We have to sometimes, some days, dig deeper than other days, to realize our value. Because I feel like with everything going on in life, the thing that comes to the top of the surface is all the wrong or what we need to do or whatever. But let's dig deep and pull out like what we are. Like, I am a whole vibe. I am funny, naturally.
A whole vibe.
I'm fun. I'm smart. I'm dependable. I'm caring. I'm compassionate. I'm loving. I light up rooms. Don't start. I light up rooms. And it's like, these are just little things. And people think that, sometimes I'm talking about people, me, think that is something that's just regular, that's normal and regular. No, it is not. And it's like, even you have to hold on to those things to give yourself friendly reminders like, listen, you're good. You've always been worth it. And with me, it was like with my issues and the things that I've experienced, I let that, determine my worth. Absolutely not. Some of the things I couldn't control, but it made me carry a lot of shame.
Mm-hmm. I think we carry shame because of what we think people are going to think of us.
And also, too, when you have people throw things in your face that you trusted.
But I think, like, a lot of the times, like, we create our own shame. Because it's like you're too fearful of to release. And then it's like you're scared that someone might not agree with you, or someone will judge you and look at you different. So that's like, I think a lot of shame and fear we create in our own minds.
Yes.
And we make it so powerful
that we actually believe in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But you know what? There is changes. Just like I changed my hair, changes is coming, y'all. Changes is coming, y'all. And y'all stay tuned.
So today is, what day is it?
Tuesday, fool.
21st, right?
Right.
So tomorrow is May 22nd. In 1 month from tomorrow, I will be in Jamaica.
J-A-M, Jamaica.
So shout out to people. Talk about change. Let me tell you what change is.
Go ahead, friend. Speak on it.
This woman has never had a passport. And ask her where she coming. Ask her what she got and where she coming.
Look, stay tuned for pics and reels.
I don't know if Jamaica's going to be ready for her. I don't know if we're going to be ready for her.
I'm going to tear the J.A. off of Jamaica. Y'all hear me? It's going to be Maker.
But change is good. Yeah. And I promised myself, this year, and this year has not been easy. Last year wasn't easy either. And this year hasn't been easy
right,
either.
I'm about to say,
But let me tell you something. I promised myself 50 was going to be a whole different thing for me. There's going to be doors opening and there's going to be doors closing.
All right, say that.
And
friend.
I don't like change, but there's change that has to happen in order for
things new to come in,
to grow, and for things like I made a huge decision 4 years ago that changed so many different areas of my life. But let me tell you something. Once I closed certain doors, the blessings just started pouring in.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind that the same will happen now.
Exactly. And the same for me, because if God blessing her, that means my father got in the neighborhood. He's stopping at my house next.
So I think change is seriously important. And I'm going to call in and celebrate my 50 like I've never celebrated before.
Period. And y'all ain't going to know who birthday it is, to be honest with you. So don't judge me, because, we do that. It could be anybody's birthday. We celebrate like it's ours.
That's right.
Why not?
But again, this episode was all over the place, but that's okay.
That's us. We all over the place.
Someone asked me yesterday on my pod, like, what do you guys talk about? I said everything.
Right.
Like, pretty much never work. I mean, some work things, but not really work. I said pretty much whatever's going on in our life. And it's our time to actually just talk. And put it out there.
But these are our conversations.
Yeah, these are our conversations. And hopefully, like, one person hears it and it's what they need to hear.
Absolutely. It's not about, likes and all of that. It's a release for me personally. Like, this is therapeutic for me. And speaking of which, since we talking about birthdays and stuff, and I know my friend 50th is next month, but mine is right around the corner in August.
She wants a Barbie birthday.
I was joking about the Barbie. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all, if y'all with it, I'm with it. But I want a birthday party. I was telling her one day, let me tell you how your friend is. I told her, I was like, I want one of those dinners for my birthday, like with the long table, with the nice flower arrangements, with floating candles. She was like, that's corny. Just shoot me down. It was so serious. It was like, that's corny.
That's just corny.
But for me, I never had nothing like that. And I want my name on the menu. Like, I don't ask for much. But that's the problem.
Lord help us. Pray for me, guys.
I bet you I'll get it.
Pray for me.
Stay tuned. I bet you. Look at my face. I bet you I'll get it.
Pray for me, guys, because it is not easy here. But anyway, thank you for those who subscribe. Thank you for the comments, and thank you for showing up another week.
Let me tell y'all something. And for the record, she won't change me for a new Benz.
Maybe a new one.
You a whole lot. Look, who gonna ride with you? Who gonna ride with you?
Maybe a G-Wagon.
But guys, thank
I
you.
could write that off on my taxes. I can't write her off.
Listen, I'm priceless. Ain't no dollar amount on this blessing.
Jesus. Bye, guys.
I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. Bye, y'all.